Shalom. I'd like to start out by giving all glory, praise, and honor to Yahweh Bahasham, Yahweh Shai Bahasham, or Chachwadash. Double honors to the elders and apostles of the Great Millstone, and Shalom to the elect of Israel. This is Thamayim in Atlanta, and I've got this article from The Hill. It was posted into the group chat last night, and it's signifying that this port strike that just begun on Tuesday, is already over after 2 days. And not gonna lie, I was getting a little excited about what the future held, but it has already ended. And it says port workers reached tentative agreement to end strike. It says the International Longshoremen's Association, or the ILA union, and the U.S. Maritime Alliance, USMX, an association of companies that operate East and Gulf Coast ports, reached a tentative agreement Thursday to end a 2-day strike. It says the ILA announced Thursday night that the USMX agreed to boost pay for port workers and that union members would return to work immediately. The International Longshoremen's Association and the United States Maritime Alliance, LTD, reached a tentative agreement on wages and agreed to extend the master contract until January 15th of 2025. So that's not very long at all. It's about 3 months. To return to the bargaining table to negotiate all other outstanding issues. Effective immediately, all current job actions will cease and all work covered by the master contract will resume, the two organizations said in a joint statement obtained Thursday by The Hill. The agreement suspends a strike that could have had serious consequences for the U.S. economy and posed political issues for President Biden and Vice President Harris, who stood staunchly behind the striking workers. And so this whole incident came and went pretty quickly, and you could tell people were they're afraid of the consequences of this. They're afraid of the lack of supplies and lack of food, and worried about their easy lives here in Babylon becoming more difficult. But it's still going to, because Babylon will fall, and this place is just holding on by a string. The economy is holding on by a string. The infrastructure is collapsing. They've been talking about doing something about the infrastructure here since Obama's first term, and nothing's happened. There's been numerous natural disasters to occur, from wildfires to earthquakes to this most recent Hurricane Helene, in which we're still in hurricane season, so there's more to come. But especially that area of western North Carolina was affected pretty harshly. Here in Georgia, we just had that chemical plant burned down, which has made the air quality pretty low here. And then we also have the wars and rumors of wars which are occurring. So we've got full-on war with Israel and Iran currently. And there's also Israel and its 6 other fronts that they were fighting on. Then you got the Ukraine thing, the Taiwan thing, various things happening in Africa. We're watching the world crumble, and we're watching the downfall of Esau Edom, self-proclaimed white man, including those small hatters over there. And we're watching the fall of Babylon the Great, which is America. We're watching it fall, and it's pretty amazing. And this port thing didn't work out, which was going to bring famine, but who's to say it doesn't boost back up January 15th when they have to go back and negotiate on whatever they're trying to negotiate. Supposedly they're after more money, but they also they don't want their jobs taken over by automation as well. So there's more things to negotiate there. But nonetheless, Babylon will fall. And these birth pains have kind of slacked up a little bit. These contractions have slacked up. But nonetheless, this place is still doomed. And just because there's a little reprieve doesn't mean that there will be peace and safety, because all hell's going to break loose after that's declared. But this is 2nd Esdras chapter 16 verse 37. It says, "Behold, the plagues draw nigh and are not slack." And there are many, many plagues to come onto Babylon the Great and onto the earth. And onto Babylon, the greatest plague are those nuclear missiles that are going to absolutely destroy this place. And they're still going to come. Even though this strike is over, there's still plagues for Babylon because it's done too much wickedness and it has to be judged. And these plagues also include the upcoming famine, these upcoming wars, the social unrest, the actual pestilence and plagues, the animals coming after people. This place is going to fall, and the Lord's going to plague it in many different ways. It says, as when a woman with child in the 9th month bringeth forth her son, with 2 or 3 hours of her birth great pains compass her womb. And so those are those contractions that you have when a woman goes into birth, and she'll be kind of fine for a second, sweating still, and then a contraction comes and she's in pain, screaming out. And they start out kind of mild, and the closer to delivery, they get more and more intense. It says, "Which pains when the child cometh forth, they slack not. They slack not a moment." So these pains, they're not going to stop before we get to deliverance. It says, "Even so shall not the plagues be slack to come upon the earth, and the world shall mourn, and sorrow shall come upon it on every side." So every single angle you could think of is going to be pain and misery for this world, for Babylon. Jeremiah 51 and verse 8 says, "Babylon is suddenly fallen and destroyed. How for her take balm for her pain? If so be she may be healed." And you see different bills, spending bills, and even the Fed just lowered the interest rates here because they're trying to heal this place, or at least keep it together until the elite are ready to make the MOTB mandatory. And then they'll completely drop the economy and let things crash so that they could release chaos into the earth, with them coming to bring their order, or their new world order. But this place is still going to be destroyed. It says, "We would have healed Babylon, but she is not healed. Forsake her, and let us go every one into his own country." And these other heathens here, they're going to eventually leave and go back to their own countries, because there's no American dream anymore. It says, "For her judgment reacheth unto heaven, and is lifted up even to the skies." And the sins of America, the sins of the West, have gone on long enough, and the Lord's going to judge this place. From the very start of it, it was all violence or murder and robbery. These places, we're sitting on stolen land currently, and everywhere the Edomites have gone, consist of robbery and violence, because they are the bloody men, the bloody people, and they have sinned. They've gone against every single word within the scriptures. They've stolen everything. They've brought great misery to the earth, and the Lord's going to judge them for it. And so, even though this port strike didn't work out like we had hoped for, because, yeah, we want the worst for Babylon. It's an enemy unto the Most High. So, therefore, it's our enemy. And even though this didn't work out just yet, there's still more to come. The Lord still has a lot of tricks up his sleeves, a lot of plagues to put onto this place. And we're just in the beginning of sorrows. So there's a lot to look forward to. Babylon will not be healed, and Esau cannot be saved. So, Lord willing, that was edifying. I'd like to give all glory, praise, and honor to Yahweh Bahasham, Yahweh Shai Bahasham, Chakwadash. Double honors to the elders and apostles of the Great Millstone, and Shalom to the elect of Israel. Shalom.